Okay, just wanted to film a little video, kind of the second part of my non-belief series. And this one kind of goes more into the topic of, like, why be such a jerk? Why attack religion? And like I said in my other video, like, as long as people kind of keep their beliefs separate from other people, then I'm pretty much fine with any belief. Like, you can believe literally anything. You can believe in, Greek gods, Norse gods, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity. I don't care. As long as you don't expect me to believe the same things, it's fine. Like, you can literally believe that leprechauns are living in your shoes. I don't care. I think it's crazy, but that's fine. You could think I'm crazy for not believing in any gods. That's cool too. So, for a couple of years, actually more like 3 years, I attacked religion pretty hard. And I did it on a fairly consistent basis. And I had a thought process behind it. And basically what I wanted to show people is just the crazy verses that are in the Bible and crazy beliefs that people used to have. A lot of people don't have these beliefs anymore. Like, it's an abomination in the Bible to wear clothes of two different fabrics. Like, so if you wear cotton and polyester, that's an abomination. The same as a man lying with another man or eating pork or shrimp. It's an abomination. So it's funny how there are some beliefs we keep with us. We're like, this is still really horrible, but all these other things, especially in the Old Testament, like Leviticus and stuff, we just throw those out. Like, there's verses about not getting tattoos. There's tons of stuff. Not getting divorced. But yet, we do all those things now. But we kept hold of, like, a small handful of things that are still considered horrible, but everything else is pretty much ignored now. And I just think it's funny how, people do cherry pick. And so I just wanted to put that knowledge out there. And people did take offense to it quite a bit. And a lot of times people just ignored it, which that's fine too. I mean, as long as people are seeing it, that's all I really care about. I mean, it's nice to have a discussion or even a debate, but debate's kind of even a strong word. Like, just discuss it and say, wow, I didn't know that was in there. That's crazy. And just whatever. Or even if people want to defend it and say, well, this is why they had it. Because, like, the verses about not eating pork and not eating shrimp actually make a lot of sense in the days before refrigeration. So there's plenty of stuff in the Bible that sounds funny today that probably did make perfect sense when you live in the desert several thousand years ago. But other things just really don't make any sense. And so I would poke fun at them. And people would say I'm a jerk, but I mean, there's literally several different religious or Christian denominations that go door to door. The Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, they all go door to door, banging on your door, wanting you to believe in God and trying to save your soul, and then saying if you don't accept their dogma, you're going to burn in hell. And if I come back with some weird Bible verses or obscure Bible verses, like, somehow I'm just as bad. Like, I'm not telling anybody they're going to burn in hell or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, here's a verse. Maybe think on it a little bit. And the other thing that I think is funny is that people post on Facebook religious stuff all the time. And I'm not saying that they do it completely without any kind of repercussions, because even other religious people, sometimes it bothers them. Like, they roll their eyes at it too. They're like, geez, posting like every other day some kind of Bible verse and, saying, oh, thank God I got that job interview or something, and God bless everybody. And even other believers think it's too much sometimes. But I just think it's funny that when I do the same thing and post a Bible verse that's like obscure or uncomfortable for people, like I'm way worse. Like people are like, you're an awful person. I'm like, I'm just posting verses straight out of the Bible. Like if that makes you uncomfortable or you don't like it, sorry. And I don't do it to be a jerk. I actually do it to spread knowledge. It can definitely come off as being a jerk, and I can understand why people would think that. That's fine. The thing is, I'm willing to put up with that. I'm willing to take that hit to get that knowledge out there and to make people understand that, a big reason why we had slavery in the United States was because it was directly in the Bible. There are dozens of verses about how to keep a slave, how to sell a slave, how to sell your daughter into slavery, all kinds of stuff. It's in there. And, people have seen it. Same thing with, women not having positions of authority over a man. That's written 3 different times in the Bible. I didn't write it. It's just there. And people get angry when I show it, but it's just true. And part of the reason that I eventually just stopped posting is because I probably posted 300 to 400 different posts. And I was like, if people don't get it by now, they're never going to. Like, I've either reached people or they're just never gonna learn. So I just thought I was kind of kicking a dead horse after a while. So I've definitely slowed down a huge amount because I pretty much felt like I said everything I needed to say. I wanted to show kind of the inner workings of what I did. So like I have memes, tons of them. And at first, I thought the memes were pretty effective. I thought some of them were pretty funny. A lot of them just have Bible verses. Some of them are just things that kind of make you think, but turns out memes weren't very effective. So towards the end, I just went to taking stuff directly screenshot out of the Bible. And then I started to use stuff like this from Leviticus. Do not mark your skin with tattoos. I am the Lord. Just because a lot of the memes, people thought I was just lying and making stuff up. So I would take stuff out. The swine, and he's cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean. So, just taking stuff directly out of the Bible, so there's no misunderstandings, there's no anything, it just is what it is. Like I said, I was taking stuff from my Bible, so I would just underline stuff, but what would happen there is people wouldn't believe it was from the Bible. They're like, oh, you just got that from some Satan book. I'm like, no, that's the Bible. So eventually I took screenshots because the screenshots from the online Bible give you chapter and verse, and everything else that says King James Version, English translation, all that stuff. So there's really no disputing it. So yeah, I have stuff broken up by misogyny, prayer, slavery. Take a slavery verse and just show you that. Slaves, obey your earthly masters, fearing the Lord. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. So that's all I was doing, was just sharing this stuff and saying, hey, did you know this was in here? Have you read the Bible? Do you know what it says? Do you know the history behind it? Because I do. In fact, I did show this in my other video, but just for people that may not have seen it. So I have the complete Bible handbook, the Holy Bible, Battles of the Crusades, the Quran. So I've read all this stuff. I know religion. I know religious history. And in fact, a big reason why is this thing on Glenn Danzig here.
come under fire from any religious groups or organizations?
Well, I haven't really got that much flack yet, but I mean, if they want to fight, it's fine with me. I probably know more about organized religion than they do. Probably know more about their histories and what they really should be all about than they do. So, if they want to fight, come on.
So that was something that kind of inspired me when I was like 17 years old back in 1992. I saw that thing from Glenn Danzig and I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to understand religion and know religion better than pretty much anybody. So, I mean, I'm perfectly comfortable debating religion, talking about religion to anybody. So, I don't come from a place of ignorance and I just don't talk out my ass. I know this stuff probably better than 95% of people out there. So that's kind of why I do the things I do and why I attack religion, because of basically all the really horrific stuff that religion has been a part of over the years. And the other point that I really want to drive home is that atheists and non-believers used to get burned at the stake. Like, take this one here. This man here was charged for heresy for saying that the Earth rotates around the sun and not the other way around. And he was burned at the stake for heresy. And he was right. He wasn't making stuff up. He wasn't lying. So that's what used to happen to people like me that would speak out against religion. They get burned. And I've never burned anybody at the stake. All I've ever done is ask some questions that religion couldn't answer. And for that, get tons of hate. So, anyway, this is just kind of an explanation for why I've done some of the things I've done. Alright, signing off.